I was born downtown after the '52 earthquake at the portion of Mercy Hospital still standing. I was raised in East Bakersfield and attended Horseman and then East. I was very shy and I always wanted to be a cheerleader. And I had that opportunity when I started working with the Downtown Business Association to become the cheerleader for the heart of the city. I was an only child until we moved up to the two-story on Roanoke, the two-story home, and we had an extra room, so my parents took in a foster daughter. She was a year older. She attended East High also. My dad was a carpenter, and my parents lived at Hart Park, and they used to run the concession stands. And he built his house. He bought the land from Arvin, and he promised them sidewalks, which they still today do not have sidewalks. But it was so cool because you were close where you could play in the foothills, and I used to walk to Horseman. That was about a mile. That was part of what you did.
Early 70s, after graduation, she went to Bakersfield College for a couple of years, and then she ended up going to business college. It's like she came out of her shell when she started working to further Bakersfield, seems to me. She was like a different person than she was in high school. She was so shy and withdrawn. But once she got out to where, it was like she felt like that was her niche, I think. She didn't just graduate and kind of melt into the rest of the world. She got into a job, she loved that job, and then she turned it into transforming our city, which is something not very many people are able to do. She's the type of person that will do anything for you. She knows everybody. She doesn't know how to do it, she'll find somebody that'll do it. She's a go-getter. I've never seen her meet a stranger. Just hard-working. She was a lot shyer in high school. She was shy around strangers, but within our group, there was a small core group of us that we always felt, like all kids in high school probably feel estranged from everybody else. We felt like we had our own little group, that nobody else knew us or liked us. But in our later years, we discovered everybody feels that way in high school. But we always had a good time together. We spent time in each of our houses. There were 3 of us that were really good friends. If we weren't at my house, we were at Cathy's house, or we were at our friend Laura's house. We'd go to East High dances and the football games on Friday nights, and Saturday nights we'd go to dances at the Civic Auditorium. That was our thing.
I was in the summer school here. I remember taking typing. And in fact, we were able to graduate, and I attended BC for a semester and then came back and graduated with my class because I was able to take all the summer classes and I was able to go to BC early. The big thing that I enjoyed doing was art at the time. And my Mr. Stidham picked me to do the display cases. And I came back from BC to do those display cases. And back then, the Californian would report on what was taking place at the high schools. And that was the first time I got my picture in the paper. But then, when I was at BC, I had another art teacher, Naso, and he didn't care for my art. He was more into, you come into the drawing, you see the whole thing. I was more about, I like drawing cartoons and things like that. And it discouraged me, and my mom got real mad at him. And then I never had a life after I started with DBA. I dropped those things. But it's nice now, in my position with the Arts District, working also with the schools, being able to support the arts.
We would not have a downtown like we have today had it not been for the efforts of Cathy Butler. When I was mayor, I had a committee. It was called the Bakersfield Beautiful Committee, and it's still going. And they thought that they ought to revive the Christmas parade that we hadn't had for a number of years. And Cathy with the Downtown Business Association had the same idea, so we got together, and I think she did most of the work. But we brought back the Christmas parade in, I think it was 1983. Cathy is the one who does most of the work. You know, I wave, but Cathy was the one who really worked on it and put people together. And so we now have the Fox Theater as a wonderful addition. But she's been invaluable in really restoring downtown Bakersfield.
I started dating who's now my husband, Clarence, and he encouraged me to go out and look for a job. I had graduated from Valley Business College, and I had accounting and secretarial skills, and I looked downtown and ended up with in the Chamber's office, in fact, in Kern County Board of Trade that used to be together at the time. Downstairs was the Kern Taxpayers Association. I worked there for a year. But then my husband and I started a trucking company, and before and after work, I used to run Arvin Lamont's mail. That afforded me the opportunity to work for a nonprofit. And so for 30 years, I went through the Arvin Dust Storm, Lamont Flood, and I've been with DBA ever since. I was here for the 75th anniversary, and they had kind of like a little hall of fame, and they had Mary Kay Shell. But I thought it was so cool that they were honoring them, and then I am so honored to be part of this